Hey, what's up everybody? I just want to do a quick demonstration video of a workflow that I am trying out in Roam Research. Roam Research has become really my daily driver throughout the day. It's where I take meeting notes, it's where I take notes on things I learn, books I read, and I'm using it kind of as a place to hold my second brain. I watched Shu Omi's video about kind of how he's using Roam, and I've taken a lot of concepts from that video. So the what I do every day from my daily note page, the first thing I do is I have a keyboard Maestro shortcut called Day, which I then use to kind of create my usual structure that I use every day. So I have some queries that look for tasks that are opened. I do not have any open right now on my view. I have a spot for a morning journal where I kind of put some daily affirmations and then kind of work through my day. I have an evening journal to kind of process how things went. And I also have a few things. So I have my Accesso is a company that I currently work for, and a personal block and an agenda block. And today I want to spend some time talking about how I'm starting to use this agenda block. So throughout the day, I have meetings. So right now I have a whole bunch of meetings in my Google Calendar. One of the nice products that I use to make sure everything is in Google Calendar is I use a product called Calendar Bridge that will bring my calendar entries from my work Office 365 and put them into the same calendar that I use in Google, which makes it just really easy to work with. So when I go to these meetings, I'm taking notes, and usually action items pop up there. And I really like Roam's ability to make tasks within the content of a document because it gives me context about what that to do is. Because sometimes I would find myself forgetting that what is this task? Why am I doing it? What's this about again? Taking notes and adding tasks in context has really helped me a lot. So one of the things I wanted to do is come up with a workflow that better lets me be able to take notes without friction. So I designed a Google Calendar program that will talk to Google. It's a Python script, talk to the Google Calendar APIs, and spits everything back into Roam. And I'm using Python and Alfred to do that. So the first thing I do in my calendar view is I am loading up Alfred, and it is off screen right now, so you're not going to be able to see this, but I'm about to run the Google Calendar to Roam command. So it's going to connect to Google, and we can see it spits out everything in Markdown notation around what time I have my meetings and kind of what's happening, and I'm then able to kind of click through into it, take my notes, or quick capture from here. So the other thing that I developed for my agenda view is that I'm still a big fan of Todoist. The problem is I like taking all these notes and to capturing my to-dos in context with everything else, but Roam isn't really a great task manager in several ways. So the things that I'm using Todoist for are really three areas. So one is the quick capture of tasks using my mobile phone, Google Voice, not Google Voice, Google Home, voice recognition stuff like Alexa or Google Home, because Roam's note capturing quick capture isn't really quick at all, and it's a stopgap until there's a mobile app. And honestly, Todoist just does a better job with helping me to capture something that's just in my head as I'm walking around, so that I don't have to fixate or worry about remembering that. The other thing is that there's no ability in Roam to remind you to do something at a specific time or place. And finally, I also use Todoist because it has an API, and I use it to aggregate tasks from other people or other systems. So, for instance, I use the Spark integration. Spark's an email client, and I create to-do items directly from Spark for emails that I have to respond to that might take a while, or I'm just going to kind of shove back so that I don't forget them. And also, I use a service called Pleaksy, which joins my Jira board at work to my Todoist. So it automatically kind of looks up the current sprint that I'm in, pulls in all my Jira tasks into Todoist so that I can sort through them. So the biggest issue that I had when trying to come up with a workflow for Todoist is that there's these really specific things that I still use Todoist for, and I don't want to use Roam for. And the biggest one is reminding me to do something at a specific time, because I want Todoist to send me that push notification to remind me to do something. So I developed a program that talks to the Todoist API, lists everything that's due for today, but if it has a time attached to it, then I don't import it. And then when I'm done importing, I kind of close everything out from Todoist, because it's been successfully imported into my Roam workflow, where I will then kind of complete it as it goes. So let's try this over here. So first we'll see in my Todoist, I have a few to-do list items that are open for today, including one that has a time attached to it, a reminder to just bring in the garbage at 5 o'clock. So, all right, so I am starting off this workflow from off screen, and I apologize for that, but I'm going to kick off my untimed Todoist task to Roam job here. So I'm going to hit enter, and it is going to pull in all my to-do items from Todoist. So we can see it imported them in as kind of Todoist formatted items, and I added some specific tags because I'm only pulling in today's stuff. So for my system in Todoist, I tagged them with today, which I then have queries for. So no matter where I add them, if I add them to today, I can see them on my daily task page. And if we take a look at Todoist, it also completed them in Todoist as I brought them in, except for the one that has the specific time set, because if I have that time set, I want a push reminder to remind me about that. So I don't touch those items, but I import everything else in Todoist, so then I can start working on them and just have it's not exactly a single place, but it works really well. So I really hope this workflow has been helpful for you. I have released all the code I wrote to do the Google Calendar and Todoist integrations into GitHub. I will say they are kind of completely unsupported. I didn't make them to be kind of standalone products that you can just use without any friction. I have a background in DevOps, site reliability engineering, so I'm really familiar with how to use Python and Go and Alfred and kind of all these things. So if you are too, then you can head over to the GitHub and get a fresh start. You can fork my repo and hopefully make something much better that will work in your workflow. Just wanted to thank you again for taking the time with me, and enjoy.